We are here in day 5 of Transform Your Money Situation. I really hope that you have watched the previous 4 lives and have done the exercises so far. I have instructed in the last 4 lives actually, because all of these lives and all of these exercises, all this work goes hand in hand with each other. So if you haven't, I would highly recommend to go ahead and watch those lives first and then come back and watch this video again, okay? And in today's, like yesterday, we that was the version 1 of Money Mindset Practice. Now today is going to be version 2 of Money Mindset Practice. Now in today's live, I am going to be taking you step by step with accountability of all your cash, income, assets, finances, basically. So, without any further ado, please do make without any further ado, I would say that let's go ahead and let's just deep dive into it. Hello, I can't see your name really on this live, but hello, how are you? So now, as I said, this is day 5 of it. Now, in yesterday's live, obviously, I did mention that I am going to be uploading a document because in yesterday's live, there was quite a long list of what to do, what limiting beliefs to look into, and all these things. And then, but then I thought that what I will do actually is at the on the last day of this live, day 7, I will upload a document which will cover the all 7 days in writing for you. So it's easier for you guys to go through it in your own time and have a look and see what you need to do about it. Okay. So let's deep dive into it now. Now, step 1 for today's practice is going to be that you should be listing all the money you have access to. So when I'm saying all the money you have access to, I mean that you start with the bank balance, retirement accounts, investments, or if you have any cash in hands. So make a list of all of that, and for each account, keep accountability of the interest rates and bank fees for all of them as well. Okay, so when you're doing it, that's how you do it. So make step 1, count all your cash. These things are known as cash because basically they are like kind of direct money savings and investments. So now I'll repeat that once again. Step 1 is going to be list all the money you have access to, which includes bank statements, which includes retirement accounts, which includes investments and cash in hand as well. Also remember to make a note of interest and bank fees from them as well. Now, also include any stock and bonds if you have any, or any other investments at this particular point. If you have dividends or returns on any of those ones as well, which goes in this list too. Okay. Now, the step 2 after this is going to be list all your material assets. So now, what I mean by that is you have to list all of your properties if you have any. So now one thing to make this very clear is the goal of these exercises is to achieve clarity. So I would like to remind yourself again, please don't beat yourself up for this. Please don't judge yourself for this either. So now we intend if you never intend to part with something, I mean, when you are doing this materialistic assets list, please include the ones which you have never intend to part with either, whether it could be a property or it could be, it doesn't matter at this particular point that you cannot make list of all of that. Okay. So now it is also you. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes again to see if I'm not missing anything. It's useful to know what material value does your asset have in the market in the current situation, in the current present time. This would include all the electricals you own as well, all the properties, your car, your art collection, everything materialistic which have a value. This will include all of that list. Now, you can actually include the original cost of the original cost of the item, and then compare it with the current cost of it. But this process is completely optional. You can do it or you don't need to do it either. But I would say to do it just to have a clue of what was the value of it when you bought it and what is the value of it now. Now, after this one, this is something which I really, really, truly want you to remember is the goal of this exercises, although this is to have to do with the numbers, but then at the same time, this has to do, the goal with these exercises is to see what emotions are coming up with these exercises as well. It's not only about the numbers, okay? So just make sure that to make a note of whatever emotions are coming up when you are doing these exercises. It is very, very important to note that as well. Now, we want to explore our feelings, our emotions attached to these numbers, whatever numbers you are getting from those lists. Okay, now while you're doing this exercise, document everything you can and also celebrate at every step of this exercise with whatever you have achieved to yourself. This is very important. We often forget to what we have already achieved, and then we are so concentrated on what we have not achieved and start attracting that too much. We don't want to do that. Okay, so every step of doing these exercises, whatever positive you are gathering from those exercises, celebrate yourself for that. Give a pat on your back for that you have done so well. Wow, you have achieved this. And then you can do, and then you acknowledge what you have to improve in future. Do not beat yourself up for what you haven't done. Just remember, this is the exercise to start doing, like, go from point A to point B, as I said in the first live as well. So, point A, maybe it could be for some people being in debt, and point B is where you are completely out of debt, or at least on the way of getting being out of debt. Okay, so now, step three is this is the very important one as well, because we normally don't pay attention to this. Now, step three, this one is very important. Make a note of this. Examine your paycheck or salary slip, or if you are received it in bank directly, then examine what amount you are receiving. Now, when I'm saying examining, what I mean by that is to be aware of how much tax you are paying on your paychecks or salary slip, and be aware of if you're paying any national insurance tax, if you're paying any what's it called, pension plans with your employer, if you are paying any health insurance with your employer, if you are paying anything which is getting deducted from your salary. So say for example your salary is supposed to be £1,000 a month, but including deducting all the tax and national insurance, or if you're in US then social security or health insurance or pension plan and all of these, you are only getting about £900 in your hand. So if that is the case, be aware of what is getting deducted. And I would highly recommend to take a salary slip out of like last 2, 3, 4 months and compare if the tax deduction, if you think it's right, do the calculation if it's correct or if it's not. If not, then so that you can by all means go ahead and tell your employer you think that there is something wrong here. Can they please check? Yeah, there's nothing harm in that. But at least if there is a glitch somewhere in the taxes that you're paying more tax than you're supposed to, then that can be rectified. Okay. Um, Now, if you are paid like kind of hourly and it varies from week to week, then obviously that is going to be the different story altogether. So then you have to like kind of rectify it and verify it on the weekly basis. That will then not be on the monthly basis, if I'm making any sense there. Um, Now, how you can do that is like this. So, number one, first you look at the amount of your gross pay. What is the gross pay that you're supposed to get? That is the amount of your salary, basically. Or if you're working on an hourly rate, then the number of hours you work at your agreed upon rate. So if you're working like if you have agreed to work like 40 hours a week at £9 an hour, and then the weekly salary will going to be 40 times 9, and that is going to give you your gross pay. Now from that gross pay, look at your net pay, gross pay, and then your net pay. Now, when you're looking at this net pay, is what you actually receive. Net pay is actually what you receive after the taxes, obviously. So then you compare your gross pay with the net pay and see how much taxes and the other deductions are being made from that gross pay, and why is these deductions are made. Have you agreed to all of these deduction, the tax calculated in the proper percentage what it should be calculated or not? Because this is something really important and we forget to do this at many times, and this is very common mistake that we do most of the times, to be honest. um, Now, after this, what you would do is you would make a note of all the taxes that are being deducted, and then you calculate whatever way the tax is calculated in your country. So, and also see if there is a national insurance and what rate is it deducted. If your PAYE tax deducted, then what rate is that deducted? If you're paying any pension, then how much is the pension or percentage of pension you are paying? If you're paying any health insurance, then how much is the percentage of that you are paying as well? All of these that will give you, so whatever your calculation should match your net pay from the gross pay. If it's not, there is something wrong and you need to work on it. Maybe you need to speak to your employer, or you do need to work, like kind of find out why is that difference coming from. Maybe you have calculated it wrong and you want to consult it with someone. Go ahead and do that. That would be advisable too. Now, step fourth is freelancer income. So now, with the freelancer, if a substantial amount of your income is like kind of coming from any freelancing, what you're doing on like side of your job or something like that, then you have to really and truly understand the flow of the cash works basically. So you've got to understand that how much money you are getting from that freelancing and how much tax you are paying on that one. And if you are making any consistent income from that freelancing. If you are not making any consistent income from the freelancing work, whatever you are doing, then it's obviously it's advisable and also recommended definitely to see why is that not a consistent income, because there should not be any reason that your freelancing is not giving you consistent income, because that's what you started it for in the first place, right? So look into the ways where that freelancing income can come to you on a consistent basis basically. So if there is anything that you're not doing to promote yourself or advertise yourself, or being really aware of what you should be doing in terms of freelancing, and if you are able to reach the people you are able to reach or not able to reach the people. Now when I'm saying freelancing here, it also includes all the residual income as well. So whatever residual income you are getting, that is that should be consistent. If it's not consistent, and if you're in the process of like kind of going from maybe you are planning to leave a job and do what you love to do on the full-time basis, then this income needs to be consistent. There is this one suggestion what I would like to give here. It's completely up to you if you want to take it or not. If you are ever planning to leave a job or something, I would definitely say that if that is something you definitely want to do, then definitely you leave the job and concentrate on the thing what you want to do. But at the same time, obviously not everyone's situation is same, like they can afford leaving the job at the same time. If that is the case, then it is highly suggested to get yourself um, to earn at least the amount of your freelancing or residual income or the side business, whatever you are doing. That amount should be equal to what you are earning from your job. So say for example, if you're earning £1,000 a month currently, then until and unless your residual income has started giving you that amount on monthly basis, consistent basis, don't try and leave the job. If that is possible for you to leave the job, if there is someone who else can support you while you are going to that point, that is perfectly fine. You can leave the job right now. But if that is not the case, then please, please, please do not first leave the job and then try and earn the money, because when you are trying to build something for yourself, it's not necessary that obviously that is going to happen at the same time. Exactly, like kind of you have said that, okay, fine, from next month I'm going to be earning this month. If that is something what you're really really and truly sure of, please go ahead and do it. But if you're not sure of it, and if that is just an assumption, please do not leave your job and work on that assumption. First be sure of what you're doing and what you're earning from that, and then try and leave the job, okay, with whatever you're trying to do. Now, that was the one part of suggestion what I would say, because I know that there are many people, many of us want to do what we love to do, and I am a big advocate of you should always do what you love to do. If you don't want to work in a corporate job, then definitely don't work in a corporate job. Don't, that is not needed. But at the same time, I highly advocate that as well, that if you are not in a situation where you can leave a job and start working what you want to do, I would say leverage the income from your job to build yourself first. And then you can go ahead and leave the job in good terms and everything like that. So that is one point of suggestion from me today. So I really hope that you understood what I mentioned in today's live. There were 4 steps in total. And as I said, on the last day of my life, I am going to be uploading a document that will be in my bios link area on my Instagram. From there, you can always download that document and you can work according to that. Until then, just keep following my lives and see how are you feeling with your finances, what feelings are emerging when you are doing these exercises, what emotions, because this exercise has, yes, there are numbers involved in that, but the exercise is actually to see how you are feeling about your finances. Because remember, thoughts become things, and what you think about your finances, you get that related to your finances. I will involve this in deeper sense from tomorrow onwards. So last 2 days, day 6 and day 7, is purely about how you're feeling it and how to convert your feeling, negative feeling about finances, to the positive feelings about finances. Okay, so stay tuned for these lives every day at 2 o'clock. And if you have not yet followed my Instagram, then my Instagram handle is at Success Pyramid. Please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. And there is a link in the bio on Instagram to join my community, my Facebook community. Please go ahead and do that as well. And until I see you next time tomorrow at 2 o'clock, you guys take care with much love and gratitude. Thank you.